In Matthew 13 and verse 24, Jesus begins to tell a very profound story of a man who went out to sow good seeds, and when men slept, the enemy came and sowed tares. This is very, very profound, and I want to say something very important, and I need to listen very carefully. There is this strategy that Satan has where he catches children when they are young. So you see a child growing up, and before you know, you're already struggling with serious doses of lust, chronic issue of masturbation. And why is this? It is because there is this principle of the enemy sowing tares when the plant is still young. There is this strategy of Satan to always sow corrupt habits in the life of little children. I have pastored for a few years and I have counseled young people especially, and I've discovered that 80%, 90% of teenagers or people below teenage age struggle with serious chronic addictions, especially those who are born again. My emphasis for today is on the fact that the enemy does not sow tares except men sleep. That means that in parenting, there is a level of priesthood that parents must bring on the lives of their children. Many of the things children struggle with as they grow up is because parents slept on duty. Fathers slept on duty. There was no sufficient priesthood brought on the children to ward off the effect and the activities of Satan on the children. If you go into the Muslim section, I always tell people that you would never see a Muslim walking on the street doing evangelism the way Christians do, but they are one of the largest growing religions in the world. Why? Because the strategy is simple: marry many wives, give birth to many children, and disciple all those children from birth. So from a young age, the kids are already engrossed in the Quran, engrossed in the Muslim culture. But a child born in a Christian home is not taught scriptures until he starts talking. No proper discipleship is done. Parents don't lay hands on him on a daily basis and pray and command priesthood on him. While men slept, while men slept, while men slept. When we sleep on these things, we will discover that children who were supposed to grow up and become apostles will become masters in pornography before they even know anything about the apostolic. This video is a clarion call to every Christian parent out there, and I need you to share it to as many Christian parents as you know. We must dust our regalia, our priestly garments, and begin intercession for our children. I've heard of stories of mothers who take the pillow of their children and pray and cry into it and keep it back for them to lay their head. You can't wake up from that pillow and become wayward. You can't wake up from that pillow and Satan's activity becomes stronger in your life than the priesthood activity. It is when men sleep that Satan has the free day to sow tares. What this shows you is that when men sleep, Satan does not sleep. When men sleep, the enemy does not sleep. We must awake from our sleep and ensure that we provide sufficient priesthood for our children. Let us safeguard the posterity of the gospel. It will shock you the amount of children struggling with lesbianism out there, the amount of children struggling with masturbation out there, the amount of children whose mouth have been wired to tell lies. Even when they want to tell the truth, they will still tell a lie. Can we ask the Lord for the grace to stand and be awake, that the enemy will not stroll into our homes and sow tares in the life of our kids? The enemy will not decide what happens in the life of our children even before they get to know themselves.